Hi, Changemakers. Today you're going to be learning about POLs, Presentation of Learning. Up until this point, you've been working very hard on your project, and we are going to take a break to see where you're at in your process through a presentation of learning. This may be new to some of you, and this may be repeat to some of you, but I'm going to show you what you need to include, how it's going to be done, and why we are doing this. My name is Ms. Snook, and I have been a change maker since 2013. I'm a lifelong learner, and I hope to share learning side by side with you. So you might be asking yourself, why do we have to do this? That's always the big question. Well, in schools and in your life, it's always important to know the why, what you're doing, what is the purpose, what am I going to get out of it? Well, the presentation of learning is an opportunity for you to celebrate. You have worked hard up until this point, and you want to keep moving. It's time to prove to us and to yourself and your peers, your team members, that you have done the work. You own this project, and everybody has a piece in the pie. It's time for others to share with you the areas of strength of your project and the areas for growth so that you can improve your project to take it to the next level. You deserve feedback, and we're here to give it to you. So how are you going to do this? The easiest way to think about a presentation of learning is that you are going to be speaking to a panel with your voice, and you will also have visuals that will help your panel understand more about what you're talking about. We are going to use the 5Ws 1H model, which is the who are you? What are you doing? Where are you? Why are you doing this? When are you doing this? And how are you doing this? You're going to create a presentation with visuals. These might be hand-drawn at this point. They may be computer-based at this point. It may be a model at this point. It depends on you. And you are going to practice your story because you're basically telling a story to the panel, and then you'll be having a discussion. So what were your goals in your project? It's time to show and tell. How did you grow as a person, as a member of a team, and as a student? What did you learn? What was hard for you? What was difficult about working in a group? What didn't work? And what are the steps that you would like to take to move forward? And how can we support that? You're going to present this and then have a short discussion with a panel. You're going to be talking with a mock panel at first in preparation for the real panel that will be happening later on. You need to be prepared to answer questions and have a conversation. Try not to use yes or no answers. Try and think about your answer before you respond. You also need to be prepared to say, I do not know at this time, because you may not know. Somebody may ask you a question that you do not have an answer to, but that is a question you should write down and try to find the answer to, so that the next time, if you are asked that question, you know what to say. I'm going to give you an example of a presentation of learning. I am not going to use visuals for this. I just want you to listen to what I say and how I say it. The reason why I'm not going to provide you with visuals is because I would actually like you to go out to the Bridge Project and take a look. The Bridge Project is a project, a lifelong project for Changemaker High School that started in 2014. And it is something that will be lasting for a long time. And we hope that you will enjoy it as much as we had enjoyed planning for it, because there's a lot going on at the Bridge Project and continue in the Swan Park. So pay attention to what I say and how I say it. I'm going to tell you a story, and I'm going to start now. One day in my classroom, I assigned a project to a group of students that said, I want you to make a difference in a month. You have 30 days to figure out a project that is going to make a difference in our community, and you are going to present it on Make a Difference Day. I had one student who was having trouble thinking of an idea. And when I said this project to the classroom, she came up with the idea very quickly about walking to school is hard when it rains. It was an actual problem for her and for others in the community. I asked her, what is the problem? And she said that where she had to walk always floods, and that it would be nice to just make a footbridge that would go over the flooded area. So I told the student, go ahead and look up on the internet some examples of what footbridges look like and pick one to design so that we can build it here at the school and then go install it at the problem area. That was her part. This is where my part came in. I, as the teacher, needed to find experts in the area who could help us build the project and design the bridge according to what the student had in mind. And it turned out that my husband is in construction. So right there on the spot, I called my husband and I said, can you please show up to the school with your tools, your extension cords, and be prepared to get these materials from Home Depot or Lowe's, wherever I decided to order them from. We're going to build a bridge. And he said, where are you going to build a bridge? And I said, well, we're going to build it at the school first, but then we're going to take it out to the flooded area and place it so that people can walk over this flooded area when it rains. And he told me, no, I will not have any part in that. And my heart sank, and the student's heart sank. And I asked him why. And he said, I'm not saying it's not a good project or a good idea, but the way you're going about it won't last very long on public property. And I said, why? And he said, you can't just build a bridge and install it on public property. There have to be permits. There has to be inspections. It has to be compliant for people who to get across it who might be in wheelchairs or have a physical disability. And at that point, we launched what became known as the Bridge Project. We found an issue. The proposed solution was a bridge. We had a concept drawing, we had a location, and we had a budget. We created a budget to look up what materials we would need to build this wood bridge. We had an expert who we knew had tools and the capability to help teach us how to build the bridge. But we had to find out permitting requirements and other requirements that the state, the federal level, and the city required for us to do this project. This project did not get completed in the 30-day time limit. And in fact, it went through many different presentations to the community. It went through many different revisions. It went through much feedback from the different governments that had to be involved in this project, even down to the level of Parks and Recreation. Transportation had to be involved. The federal waters of the U.S. had to be involved. Pima County flood control had to be involved. And we learned all of this while we were preparing the project. The students and I attended many public meetings where they had to present their idea, get feedback, get consent for what they wanted to do in order to have neighborhood voice, have their voice heard, and prepare a final proposal that was then submitted and funded at $229,000 so that this bridge over the Swan Wash at Swan Park could be built. Many of you might have walked over that bridge trying to get to school today. At this point, I am done presenting the presentation of learning. This project is complete. Your project isn't. So at this point in the project, if I were you, I would conclude by saying, this is where I am, or this is where we are in our project timeline and our project process. We would like to move forward, but would appreciate your feedback. And you need to practice saying that instead of saying, okay, that's it. I'm done. Do you have any questions? Please try and get those out of your vocabulary, because in a presentation of your learning, you want to finish off with an invitation to your audience to talk to you. And that's the next step. So what are you going to do now to get ready for tomorrow? Well, you're going to prepare your presentation and practice with each other. There's lots of staff around that you can practice with as well. Tomorrow, I'm going to be online to hear your presentations, and there will also be a practice panel with you. They will be staff members that you are familiar with, but their roles on the panel are going to be different. You will receive feedback on your presentation. If you have a visual, I will be looking at it carefully to make sure that everything is spelled correctly and centered and that your grammar is correct. You will also get feedback from the panel that is present as to what else you might be able to bring to your presentation to make it more visual. At that time, you're going to revise your presentation, and then you're going to present it to an actual panel on June 30th. Between tomorrow and June 30th, you will get more artifacts. You might get more information about your project. You may have more data that you would like to present. All of that would need to be presented in your panel discussion on June 30th. I will be looking at your time that you spent. I'll be looking at the content that you presented. Is it clear? That you are prepared and actually show that you rehearsed with your group. I am okay with you using note cards. Okay, this is your first presentation of learning for many of you, and it's okay if you use a note card. You need to use the note card with just a word or a phrase to guide yourself as to what you're supposed to say. So I'll be looking at your eye contact. I'll be looking to see how you're standing. I will be looking to see that you have a smile on your face, that you are proud of your work, and that you speak clearly. If you notice, I have been speaking slowly during this entire presentation. This is not how I speak when I'm with my friends or in a group setting where we're just chatting. I'm trying to make this as clear to you as possible. At this point in time, I'm going to go ahead and sign off, and you are going to be working together with your groups. You have your teachers there to ask for help. You can watch this video again if you missed a part or you would like to see the part again. I look forward to seeing your presentations tomorrow and look forward to seeing what your ideas are for this big project at the school. Thank you very much, Changemakers. I will see you on the flip side.